I'm just so excited to be here today because it's in front of the Capitol. And for me, the main thing is that the diversity here, all ages, all cultures, and it just doesn't matter from which part of US it has come from. And I even heard today that it's come all the way from India in some cases. And the designs are just mesmerizing. And just doing that work is just so relaxing, really. You know, just being with this group and doing it all together, being in a part of a project, coming out after COVID and everything, after the vaccinations, I'm just so excited to be here.
Shanti, the artist and organizer of this whole project, has actually been my teacher and has taught me kolams since I was about 7. So I've been drawing kolams my whole life, and I always draw them to meditate and to help me calm down when things are getting stressful in school, in work, and anything. So now seeing this in front of the Capitol, in front of everyone, has been absolutely incredible, because I love bringing our culture and our meditation to everyone into the world at this time.
Love the idea of being able to usher in some prosperity and ushering in some community-based work and art installation in order to just kind of change the trajectory of where our nation was headed. And so I'm super happy on this 100, are we at 100 days? About 100 days of this new administration to be able to welcome in prosperity and community and love and hope, and particularly including the South Asian community. As you know, there's a lot of hate happening right now, and this opportunity for us to be out here and share love and just be amongst one another, particularly after all of the attacks on our nation's capital, and especially being able to get involved our young people. Our students had a fantastic time learning about South Asian culture, as well as participating in creating their very own tiles.
You know, when I see something like this, because it's not part of my heritage, in my head I see a lot of work. This is work to do this, to be kneeling for hours. And one thing Shanti said, and it has stuck with me, is that this is not work, this is meditative. And so in my life, I try to remember when I'm approaching something that feels like work, that no, this is meditative and it's healing. And so that's what the Kolam has been for me.
It was more than I could ever hope for, because on top of being a beautiful community project, it was a meditative process, just figuring out how Shanti had designed it and how to explain to the people who were helping us how to put it together. One of the reasons I love collaboration is that everybody thinks slightly differently and comes with different experiences. And so when we work together, we have to think of ways to talk to each other and explain things.
This is a super awesome project. I'm connected through DCPS as an art teacher, also being part of the sorority that she's in. I think it's really special that it's a welcome, that it's a different style of welcome, that it has art incorporated and so many people incorporated into what the project is. So it's not very singular, but it's also talking to, and it's also drawing people in throughout. So I'll remember this project for quite some time, of how it brings community connection and an offering of kindness and support with people.
When we were first approached to do this, we just thought the idea of a symbol of unity and cultural representation, especially right now, was so important. We were so happy that a lot of our students were able to join. We had over 24 schools submit artwork towards the Kolam. Many of the families told us how they had multi-generational events to create these tiles, having 3 generations create one. And it was just a really lovely event where it really brought the community together at a time when there was a lot of separating of the community, and so that made it very important. All of our students felt such pride, especially given everything that happened around the inauguration, where students were seeing their capital, their land covered in fences, and now suddenly we're able to come back here and put this beauty as a welcoming of a reopening of the Capitol has been really important, especially for the students who this is their neighborhood.
It's just so wonderful to see so many people join and make something that is so beautiful, because every single tile has a story. And you know, to make sure that those tiles are out there where we wanted them to be, you know, feels good.
My mom spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks organizing them, and then we spent all night checking them. So it was definitely a process, but I think it worked out because it seems like it was a lot easier to do this time. It was very smooth.
if you can imagine the prep work going into then bundling each of those tiles, putting them into pairs so that they go down in the right pairs, and then putting those into hundreds and hundreds of bundles, and then stacking those bundles into even more organized things to go to each group in the right orders.
It's pretty awesome to see 2021 Kolam come together. Just the unbelievable kind of combination of tiles, but more importantly, people who've actually come together to make this happen. We have tiles from school children in Washington, D.C., but we've also had Alice and Raquel, who's sitting right there behind you, who's 4 years old, who stopped by to make a tile, and to be so enthusiastic about what it would look like to do a spirit offering, both for America and the healing sort of that we need in the world right now. So 2021 Kolam, congratulations for doing an incredible job of bringing community together to do something that is so beautifully traditional and so beautifully a spirit offering.
There are two sentiments from our literature which connects deeply with us. The first one, it says, every guest is God. And the second one, it's a famous saying from Tamil. It says, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. What that means is, for us, every town is our town and everybody is our kin. So if you connect these two, it becomes this very powerful way of treating everybody as a guest and everybody as your kin. And Kolam welcomes everybody with the same sentiment. Everybody is our kin. We all come together to celebrate this day. What we decided to do was to nourish everyone today with amazing flavors of South India.
Growing up with kolams, I'm so pumped to see kolams in front of such an important building at such a grand scale. I'm really honored and proud.
They had to kind of figure it out on their own because I wasn't there. And they sent back some really beautiful artworks. And I think what was so wonderful about that was that really telling, their story. They're on the inside, and I think it just gives them a voice and a chance to participate in something that's really important and pivotal in our country's history, and hopefully in terms of justice reform as well, things that lay ahead. I think it's wonderful to be a part of that for people who don't necessarily get a chance to speak on the outside. And those are seniors, older adults working in mentoring program with elementary and middle school students. So I had a chance to send in some of their work as well. So shout out to the beloved community of Gaithersburg.
This has been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to me. I'm a huge Kolam fan, Kolam artist. As you can tell, I have a collection of Kolam saris. I create Kolam pottery, and so when I saw this, when it first started, I was very excited, and I would say it was mind-blowing, the thought process which went into creating something so enormous, so huge, and so well planned. I've spent the last couple of hours just taking pictures of each and every artwork in there. There are thousands there, right? Each one is mind-blowing. So much artistry, so much creativity, and so much passion.
And as a child, I remember doing this using the Rangoli flower, making colors out of it, beautiful patterns. It's an extremely therapeutic and a beautiful feeling. Bringing us together with this art form has been an amazing experience for me, as I have seen all these tiles come together. My daughter was engaged in building some of these tiles.
So my name is Vibhu, and we always used to visit my grandma's house back in India, Coimbatore. And so every day when we would go through the gate, there'd be a pretty giant kolam, like hand drawn. It looks very similar to this without the colors, and it's actually really cool to see the giant kolam here in front of the Capitol building. It's kind of cool to see.
We all learned basically to draw the kolam rice flour, and then I've tried with chalk, I've tried with grains, but you know what? After all this, I've never done something on paper like this. Never expected it to come out in such a beautiful, grand manner. This is just phenomenal. It's just very emotional for me right now. And the fact that so many people have gotten together, have presented their beautiful art. It's been therapeutic also for me, and I'm sure it has been for other people who've been working on it as well. It's given us all a chance to express our inner feelings, our emotions, and thanks to 2021 Kolam for this opportunity.
I'd like to congratulate the 2021 Kolam team on their incredible art installation outside of the U.S. Capitol.
Unveiling of this beautiful artwork, which is so meaningful.
I'm so honored to be here with the Kolam Project as you create the tiles of welcome, not only for the President and the Vice President, but as symbols of harmony and respecting and honoring Mother Earth.
And it is all a big thanks to the team members and the volunteers and the participants and all the people who were in some way part of this.
My name is Hayes. My name is Langston. It was a fun day about playing with Hayes. There were too many tiles, I couldn't find mine. Kolam 2021.
This means something. Art and love and peace are important. Unity and inclusion are important. Love conquers hate, and love is the brightness that brings an end to our long, tough winter. This is a symbol of hope, a symbol of diversity, embodied by our amazing, historic Vice President, Kamala Harris. We welcome her in the Biden presidency, and we welcome our bright future, if only, and I quote Amanda Gorman from her amazing poem, Here, almost exactly 100 days ago, if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it.